came across the idea of Emberoma when I saw something that called somebody an Emberomist as somebody who likes the smell of a campfire. And so I just kind of picked the word Emberoma out of there. It was just an idea that was just sitting around in my head. And I knew I wanted to do something with it, but I didn't know what. And then when I brought the idea to Joy, I mentioned salted caramel. She said, "Oh, that's me when I cry." And then that clicked for me about a greater concept for the album. I got all these desserts written down, and the crux of the idea was the spontaneity of everybody getting in the same room and writing and recording something on the spot and not coming back to it and doing a bunch of rewrites. Overdubs are different, but there was something about capturing a moment and preserving it.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool because I think when you first came to me, you just had a list of desserts, yeah. which like on paper, it's like you wouldn't think that that's gonna come out to be like this incredible album with all these different genres. With all these different people who are doing a lot. I mean, it's like everybody's doing doing their own thing, doing a lot right now. So it's pretty cool that we were able to like put some time away to create something like that. But I guess it's just, I guess the word I'd use is like proud, because it was just like a list. It was just a list of desserts. And then it became, I guess, like an experience, and it still is an experience. Recording it was an experience. The shows were experience, and even if you listen to the album like top to bottom, that's like a re-experience again. My favorite experience, I think I would have to say the day we recorded Cinnamon Rolls at Craig's. I just think that was there. I don't know if that was the day we had like the most people. It might have been. Yeah. We had a lot of, but I just remember like, yeah, I'm like, a little Lone Star and a cinnamon roll at like 3 p.m. We didn't really have to communicate and be like, okay, we're going to do this. Like everybody was just like making a bunch of looks at each other and knowing what was going to happen. And then we created this super crazy story. That's probably my favorite story. I don't know. That was like that was one where I felt not possessed, but I was like it was like I was writing about something and I had something in the back of my head, like telling me what to write as a story. Like the rest of them are like, okay, this came from me. But it was almost like there was like this weird little snake entity trying to like tell its story through me, because at the end when I realized I was writing, I was like, I'm writing about a snake going through the desert trying to like find a breakfast world, and I have no idea where this came out. I was like, I don't know where this came from. So yeah, but I think that was the most like tapped in song.
I've been to Craig's before to produce, so kind of felt like familiar turf, but anytime you go in with a group of people that I've worked with most of the people that were on that song, but still, anytime you go into a producing setting, like a recording setting, it's a different type of mindset, It's like you have to really lock in. It's kind of, you're going into the unknown, but you got to get it right, is what it feels like. But it was fun kind of being in that space with people that I was familiar with and I knew, And I think we did a good job. It was kind of funny. Rhett was on that one too, huh? Yeah. So that was kind of fun seeing him. Was it the cowbell? Yeah, the cowbell. Shout out to the cowbell.
I loved the nature of the project. I think anytime you're working in a collaborative group with that many really strong musicians, it's just fun, though maybe stressful. But there are songs on the record that I think are like legitimately like beautiful, breathtaking moments, especially the first opening song, and I'm blanking on the dessert, cinnamon rolls. I almost said Cinnabuns, but that's I knew that was wrong. Yeah. I like that, the way that Hunter and Kendall like kind of make that like they're just like it's
thought it was a really interesting concept to have each song not have to be a specific genre, and that the only thing that linked everything together was like the setting and the plan and the desserts is kind of what, you know, kind of made the album a coherent thing.
But yeah, no, it was a good time. It was kind of nice seeing everybody kind of work through the song to kind of determine like, oh, where are we going to go with this? Oh, who's going to do this? And you just got to execute the part. You just got to get it right. So I think everybody did a great job. And yeah, it was a good time. You just gotta imagine Ratatouille, you know, that part. Like how he was able to see the colors in his head and whatnot. That's just what you gotta tap into. Eat the food. Great desserts, by the way. Thank you for that. I don't think I ever had a blondie before that. So shout out to the blondies and to Blondie the singer too, because she's amazing.
There's so much to find on this corner to find. Till the mind when you dig deep. Grace with knowledge, all that it hides. Look inside, there's plenty. All the stride, all that you find. Feel the time takes more down. It takes more down. Hopscotch to a memory. You take a bite of a blondie. All you need to do is dig deep. And all you need to do is dig deep.
Bringing together all these different people for each song and involving everybody like that. I wasn't sure if anybody else would be willing to be a part of it or believe in what I was doing, because it's a weird idea, and I didn't pay anybody. I did, like, everybody did this shit for free. It was a great gathering of everybody for this bigger idea. Everything fell into place on its own. Thankfully, Tommy allowed us to do the album release show at Friends. Damn near everybody showed up to be a part of it and celebrate this moment. Everybody had their song that they were a part of, but nobody had heard all the other songs that was a part of it. So all of us got to witness together this accumulation of the past 6 months. It from start to finish, 6 months.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And as someone who's kind of like writing the lyrics, going back and listening to them and finding like certain little like choruses, like I think in Molasses Cookies, I think Jack said he like had a second cookie and was like, ooh, it's even better the second time. And then you like go back and listen to the song and you hear that is in there and you're like, oh, everyone who's there is like, I know what that came from. So it's really cool. It's like little insiders.
I like that dessert better, if I'm being honest. Your house smelled really nice. Yeah, No, molasses was the first one. We did that before pumpkin bread. I liked that one. The cookies were great. Vibes were high. That was, oh, I didn't bring it in. I had my notebook in my hand. I left it in my car, but you can see old scribblings from when we were in here. So the way we ended up writing the song, I don't know if you remember, there's a bunch of people. It's the genesis of how you do all these, right? You just bring a bunch of people together, feed us treats, give us a sugar high and see what happens. And I was sitting there knowing that at some point some structure had to kind of come out, right? Told Carlos to pick a key. He picked an annoying one, but it sounded very good. I think it was like C# minor or something. Then I asked each person to pick a number between 1 and 7, and then just went in each number that was said, that was the chord we did, and then that became the progression of the song. And that's how we started playing it, is I just started going from there. Yeah. Do, 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 do. Joy sounded real good on that one. I like that song. That's on a couple playlists of mine. I find that one really enjoyable. Nice. I'll listen to it. It's chill. It's on my chill, relaxing playlist.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big honor. That has upwards of 3 followers.
Throwing the punch, give all you want. Well, it's been a long day. Yeah, it was a long day. Yeah, we had a long day. Yeah, it was a long day. Just for the second time. Just for the second time. Just for the second time. Cinnamon sugar spice.
First show after getting kicked off stage. That's Gene Simmons on Halloween.
The first song, S'mores, it was more of just an experiment to see if it would actually work. Once we finished that song, everything became clearer, and I was able to see that we had a chance of really making it into an album that was something unique, like something, a concept that had never been done before.
Like, you brought the idea, tried to get the first song together as fast as possible, which kind of threw me off because I was like, what even is all of this? Like, I had no fucking clue. And it was so important though that you had all of us on it, and I was like, what the like, okay, but it got all kind of stressful at first. When it happened finally, it was like, and then it happened. I was like, okay, cool, like, that's a neat idea. Yeah, I see. But yeah, it came together. It felt very frantic almost. But then when we got there, and it's like, at the Lone Stars, and then we had like, cooked the s'mores together, and then kind of started like brainstorming a little bit and got these things rolling. It made all of that kind of like worth it and made sense at the very end. I had to work late. Hunter had to go somewhere. Joy could only do that one day in the week. And you were like, if you can't do it, we'll just like, I can try to find somebody else to play. And I was like, no, I really want to play on it. I want to be a part of this thing. So I was like, fuck. Like, it was a lot.
And it was like, essentially, but I guess like a lot of friends hanging out too, and I think that got captured in the songs a lot, which was especially like in Pumpkin Bread, that woo, I don't know, like there's just like, or you can hear Nico being like, oh, like the John Mayer one, they're like those little there's like, I think those little points and pieces that just made it so made it really warm, I guess. It's just a bunch of friends making music and eating desserts.
Pumpkin Bread obviously was very different. Some of the personnel you had, like, it was just different working, right? So I found the first song really easy to work with. Bringing in entirely new people made it so I didn't have this, like, default line of, like, how we a lot of times will write songs or jam. So it's adjusting to other people. Seth was on that song. I'd never met you before. Yeah. Seth's over there, by the way, for the audience listening at home. Yeah, good. No, wave to the crowd. There we go. Thank you, Seth. Yeah. Please, Seth, I'm in the middle of an interview. And you brought in Nico, a great friend of mine. You know, didn't know how to write with them exactly at first. But, you know, it's learning experiences for everybody in the room, right? Just because, you know, I know how to write within my own band and I know how to write by myself and I know how to write with other people doesn't mean that I know how to write with the specific people that you have to write with. So you kind of have to figure it out, right? Like there was a whole moment during Pumpkin Bread. There was like a headway and you just kind of have to make a decision in something where you don't get to sit around and decide later that you want to change something. I think part of the reason the album was so cool is because it was this idea of like in and out and whatever's there is there. And it kind of makes you realize that like, oh, no, you can't have things be perfect. And these songs aren't a reflection of like your totality as an artist. They're a reflection of what you can do with other people in 3 hours.
You know, it's so true. I will say I learned a lot the day that we did that recording about how I work as a team player and like about not necessarily like kind of how I want to act all the time. And I think that was humbling in a way for sure, which was like really fun. Like you learn every experience is a new learning experience. Right. And I remember like taking a lot away from that session that I still think about, you know, I'm sure in one way or another, you know, I feel like that was the beginning of what turned into a lot more team playing on my end for sure. Like that was a turning point for me on that front. I had a really good time with it. And then I've obviously loved playing the show too. So
I was told by Nico that nobody had ever collaborated on a level like this. It was like 20 people for the whole album.
The project itself, although the goal is to be as good as possible, if there are things in there that aren't perfect, that's totally fine because that's the point. There's a a magic to what you create, and like the first kind of like gut instinct that you have. And when you start doubting yourself, you end up putting maybe some better work onto it, but it's not in the right context anymore because you weren't free flowing and going on this kind of like almost flow state kind of thing where you're having all these ideas go. And it doesn't mean that art can't be revisited and become better, but it is very rare that second version of it is better. And I think when it is, it's a true testament to that songwriter. When you have something so special already, you can grow on it is amazing. When you have something so special that it can't be grown on is also amazing in its own right. So you have to have both. Seeing how everybody else writes songs and like little nuances and little ideas that people can pull out, and when somebody shows an idea to somebody and then they play it but just slightly different and they're like, oh well, that's actually cool instead, so that becomes a new riff, and all of that was really cool to see and like really helped grow as a musician.
Seeing every single musician on the album show up was pretty crazy. Because what is it, like 15?
Like 19.
Oh my gosh, yeah, having that many, like, and yeah, that, honestly, just like how the show went, because it's like an idea that I don't think you see a lot. That many people like on one album and the band kind of like constantly changing. I thought that was just really cool to pull off. I would say like the show itself really had me gagged.
Who was on the record that I don't know of? Roy's amazing. Roy's really, really unbelievable guitar player.
I'm worth the more to my mother, an older sister and 3 young brothers. She's seen it hard, you've seen it kind of rough. But always with a smile, she was satisfied. The fact for much that life was really tough. Oh, I can hear my mother call, I can hear my mother call.
Kendall's a fucking G, bro. Oh my god, he's so good. He posted something on Instagram today, and I was looking at the Instagram post like, man, Kendall's so fucking good, bro.
The Emberoma project is going to keep developing. There are going to be countless albums to come with the same core of writing and recording spontaneously and capturing that moment. I think there's something really cool about that creative light or that creative fire within all of us that is given a space to grow authentically. It gave me a lot of confidence in myself as a creator.
Emberoma. Roma. Everybody. This is the first, perhaps only time this will happen. If you feel so inclined, to tip us. So far, we have $10 in there. We've been here for about 2 hours. I don't think anybody mentioned that tip jar yet, so I'm just gonna let y'all know. You know, it'll really help us out. This will fund. I mean, the album's already been paid for. It's already out there, but you know, it'll keep us out of trouble with the IRS. There's T-shirts for sale, posters for sale, snacks. All the desserts that were made to make this album are here. In the meantime, we will do Led Zeppelin. Thank you so much. Oh, that's great. You just doubled our tips single-handedly. Thank you so much.
It was kind of just solidified from there where it's like, this is what I would love to do this full time. Recording people and mixing them and making them sound good and talking through these songs and finding a way to be involved with every step of the creative process, whether it's writing, producing, recording, demoing, like every part. I think it's just so intriguing because I just love all the parts of music, and that allows me to access every single portion.
I think it's scary to collaborate with people when you're still trying to make it yourself. I think that is a fair thing to say. I'm very collab heavy right now too. I'm in my collaborative era. I was happy to be a part of the album. A lot of amazing guys. I loved looking at the poster and you know, seeing all the names, and I wish I could do more songs with more other people on that album, and I hope I'm a part of Emberoma too.
I play it for the kids I work for all the time. I'm like, you want to hear a song about cookies? And they're like, yeah. It's really cool. And I was like, you don't even understand that it's even deeper than cookies. But it is about cookies, but it's not about cookies. Yeah, no problem. That was very, very special. Really, I guess like I was like technically it was like my like kind of like a first little album thing too, or people were like, oh, do you have any music out? And I was like, yeah, I do, and I was like, I was like, it's me. I wrote all these songs. I was like, they are all a different genre. It's like each one is gonna have a, which is pretty cool. So that was, I don't know, that was always kind of nice, and I feel like it really helped me find. It kind of helped me find my own sound while doing it too. I think I just took like little, because I didn't really like know what direction I was going in. I didn't know if I wanted to go more rock or more folk or just kind of like more soulful. And I feel like doing that album made me realize that I'm gonna do all of them. I'm not, because I'm almost like I'm just gonna like find my little favorite points, and like I don't need to have one genre. Like it's all gonna sound like me because it's me. And so that's something that I really feel like I took away from Emberoma, which is cool. Oh yeah, that was his first. That's like his first rap thing that he'd ever done too, which is so crazy to me. Because I heard him rapping. Like he will just at home like play a track and just kind of rap over it. And he was always talking about like recording. So I had assumed that he had done it before. So that's why I asked him, and then he was like, "This is gonna be my first time like recording something," and he just wrote like the cool, like I mean like the flow was so like the flow, the words, all of it was so good. And I also made it really special, to have a song in there with my brother. I thought was, and then the fact that it's salted caramel. We're both salted caramel. It was all very like very balanced, and it was cool to have him. Because I said something about me crying. I was like, I guess when I cry, I'm salted caramel. And then you like turned around, and I was like, oh, and then yep, and I think the idea for this song coming through, and like the visual for the album, all of that, like it's just once again really cool how all of that stuff just like creates itself through like just through conversation and insiders and moments, and that's cool.
It was a cool project to be on. I'm very glad I was on it. Oh, it's just tanked my music career, but you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just one of those things. It was nice to get back to the thing that I actually really like to do, which is for me kind of effortless, which is just being a guitarist and being a songwriting collaborator and not having to do every single part of it. And what Emberoma is a really unique way to showcase the other things that I can do in a group of people who know me pretty well. That's the whole thing. I got banned from OnlyFans for promoting my 4chan. I got banned from 4chan for only talking about my OnlyFans. Yeah. So anyways, go to my Patreon. You'll find both. Oh yeah, the show went great. It was cool to see. It was one of those things where like I wasn't sure how you were gonna pull it off, but you pulled it off pretty well. And like, you also decided. I understand why you did it at Friends, but Friends also is like 3-hour slot, no breaks, off of like a 38-minute album. So you got it. I mean, you did it well. It was like whoever's there, just keep playing different iterations, which I think is a neat kind of reflection too of like what you really tapped into was your musical network to make a piece of art that you as a drummer might have been incapable of seeing come to a full fruition without help of the people around you. So it was a really beautiful thing. How do you think it came out, Riley? Come into the mic. Into the mic. Come here. How do you... Yeah, come closer. Just real. Yeah. How do you think it came out?
I thought it came out better than I ever could have imagined. I thought it was something that wasn't possible. That wasn't possible without the help of all my friends.
Yeah.
I just want to give a special shout out to everybody involved. Joy Milan, Seth Thomas, Hunter Walkup, Nico Little, Jack Carson, Kendall Harrison, August King, Sam Blue, Jade Parks, Rhett Belcher, Craig Kearse, Ray Marrero, Carlos Van Wees, Liz Malay, Donovan Handy, Spencer Ryan, and Ronnie Hall. Thank you guys so much. You guys helped me create something I didn't know I had the ability to do, and this is just the beginning. Thank you. Okay. That's great.
And also thank you, Becky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. Hold on. Thank you, Becky.
I cannot tell you the amount of relief that dropped from my shoulders once we hit that last note. Oh yeah, thank you everybody. This is y'all are the best. They make me blush. Yeah, we got Darius Jackson up next. I want to bring everybody up who was involved to get a picture, if that's possible. Everybody who was playing on this stage, come up here. But stick around. We got great music all night until we close. Thank you all for being here. And for those of you who are just hanging out, thanks for hanging out.